We back up in this
If they wanted to take it outside in the parking lot, the ex-wife and her homegirl would have been well within her right to put a little beat down on the mistress.
bitch. Oh my God, I just want to get on this mic and talk to my girl.
We still got some fucking ninjas out here that don't know no
Hmm.
better.
How dare you? You think that it's appropriate to take a woman, a young woman who is still a minor, and put her in front of the congregation to apologize?
Him, he just a ninja. I mean, he was cheating from the door. She said it. He didn't give a shit about nobody but himself.
We might find out some shit tomorrow that we had no idea. So I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Listen, something don't smell right to me, but I'm going to mind my business. But I'm not, because I want to know what y'all think.
So stop acting like, oh, we're not taking handouts. Bitch, you are a handout. You taking our money.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Three Aunties and a Mic, the podcast about grown folks ish. I am your girl V with the T. I have with me Weekday with the everyday drama and Miss Bookworm with the read. What's up, ladies?
What's up? What's up?
Hi, happy spring, happy April.
Yes, I am exhausted. I don't know what's on. I'm like,
All of us
I just,
are. It's just
yeah,
it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't know what it
yeah.
is, but it's like by 8 o'clock, I'll be like, okay, it's time to take it down. I don't
It's
know
the
what
pollen.
it
It's the
it,
pollen. That's
it
that.
I'm telling you, it's
And the
that
allergies,
change.
it's
Oh Lord,
fading.
I'm
It's fading.
Yes. So what's going
fighting
on,
through.
ladies? What's up with you, Weekday? What kind of everyday
No,
drama you done got yourself into this week?
no, you know what? I've been trying to work on myself today. I had my therapy session, and that was a huge for me today. So it was a lot, but so what was it?
Congratulations.
Oh well, this weekend. Thanks. I went to the Berks Jazz Festival. It was nice. Saw Layla Hathaway. It was great. Boney James was off the chain. Um,
Always.
but you know, I think being not being home for the last 2 weeks have really 2 weekends have really drained me. And then this Saturday, I have an early morning appointment to get my car, the warrant, whatever it is, the checkup. Got to
Hmm.
get the car the
Hmm.
healthy checkup. But while I was away, um, I upgraded the rooms because I'll be honest with you, I I don't mind, sharing a space, but I have no intentions of sleeping on a pull-out couch. I tell people this all the time. My back is bad. They're gonna have to put a board or something between me and that little soft ass mattress. I can't do it. So I upgraded to the two-bedroom. We had some difficulties at the hotel. I don't know what's going on. Right? People need to help me. I had to tell the young lady she's gonna offer me $50. I'm like, I see some ants in here. Okay, listen. I don't live with bugs. I just had the exterminator here the other day. I have them come every quarter, every 3 months because bugs come from the outside in your house. That's where they're coming from. People, they're not growing in your house. They're coming from the outside in. I don't like bugs, so I made sure when I first moved here, and that's been almost 5 years in November, that I was gonna have a exterminator come and do a brief sweep, make sure everything's okay. So she's like, "Oh, don't you know this mofo gives me the can and she didn't even give me no damn Rage. She gave me a can of Hot Shot. That's the cheapest shit you can buy. They ain't killing no damn bugs. She could have gave me some ant motels. Come on now, let's do better. This is the Hilton,
So let me
right?
make sure I got this right. She
Please, because
gave
you already
you
see me confused.
right. She gave you a can to spray
To
the
take
ants
care.
yourself.
Yes,
That's
First of
not.
all,
yes.
first of all, why didn't
y-
they move you to another room?
Well,
You're a
they were sold
guest.
out. They were sold out of
Okay.
room. Okay, for the
So
two
if they
bedroom.
were sold out, why would they give you the can to spray yourself?
Exactly. She said, "Well, the maintenance guy's not here, so he'll
That's
come
not.
by tomorrow and spray." She said, "We could give you $50 and some points." Bitch, I don't want no damn 50. What the hell? So I kind of like I said, all right. So the next day, the guy was supposed to come. I told her we'd be out of the room around 11. We get back to the room around 1, 2 o'clock. The guy ain't showed up yet. Here he come. And he said, "I'm coming here." And he still got that damn can of fucking hot shot in his hand. Well, what the hell I needed him to come for? I said, "Listen, I done sprayed the windowsills, everything." I said, "Y'all need to spray outside. You eradicate from outside so bugs don't come in." He said, "Oh, I know." We put some ant motel. Where the hell are they? Because I ain't seen that damn motel nowhere. I said, okay. I said, you got to go
No motels in this hotel.
in this hotel.
Awful.
It was awful. And then, when I went to go check out, I went to tell her. She said, "Well, we offered I said, "Honey, $50 is not going to do." I said, "First of all, you wanted me to be the damn exterminator, and you taking money from me? Y'all know I ain't having that shit." I said, "I'm not no exterminator. This is not my specialty. I came to enjoy my weekend. I did not come to be the person that sprays." So she said, "Well," I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna call Honors because I'm a Hilton Honors member." And I think on that one I have gold status. Marriott, you know how I carry on because I got platinum lifetime status. So I said, let me just call. I said, let me just call. I said, no worries, boo boo. I'm going to call Hilton Honors and we're going to discuss it." She said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Finally, tell me what you want." I said, "I want my money back for the upgrade because I paid for this upgrade to move to a two-bedroom." I mean, she did give it back, but I was like, people, I just want to say to you guys, do not accept this mediocrity. It's
Mm-mm.
not nice. Most of these hotels, so let me be clear with you. Hilton only owns Hilton properties, not Homewood Suites. They usually are owned by individuals, right? They're privately owned, their franchise. So they still keep
Mm.
that brand name. They have to keep to a certain status to keep the brand name. It's the same with Marriott. They don't own all the residence inns, the courtyards, and all them. They only own Marriott, straight up Marriott properties, Marriott Marquis, all those properties by the real name of Marriott, not these ancillary hotels, the extra ones that's on the side. But you still, when you're paying, and I mean, let me say this, I think the room rate was like $300 a night. It wasn't cheap. And so, and I didn't mention that it was $300 a night for just the one bedroom. The
Mm.
extra two bedroom cost me an extra $80 more a night. Yeah. So it's just not. We shouldn't just accept that mediocrity. I mean, what the hell? I look like being an exterminator, bitch, and I'm paying $300
I'm
a night.
flabbergasted about
Yeah,
that part. Wow.
she lucky. I just didn't want to act a fool. Cause I was getting ready to
Yeah,
carry on. When she gave me the
she
can,
lucky you
and then
in
That's that.
therapy.
Listen, that's
yeah,
that therapy working.
She lucky you in therapy.
let me
That's
tell
that
you, it wasn't
therapy
even a full
working.
can. It wasn't even a full can. I'm like,
That
well,
Wow.
means
first
they've
of all,
been
you gave
doing
me
this
hot
shit a
shot.
lot.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
Exactly. That's my point. That's all they've been doing. Unacceptable. And
Wow.
I still haven't rated them. Um, I am. I just have to get my thought process together to determine what I'm going to
Hmm.
say. But I'm definitely going to give them still a bad rating. I just felt like, why should I be the damn exterminator? This is not my job here. I got a job. It's aggravating enough. I don't need to pick up no more jobs. And God damn it, bitch, and you ain't gonna give me no damn slave job by fucking exterminating. What the hell? But anyway, that was my weekend.
Woohoo.
I mean, really.
What's going on with you, bookworm?
Nothing much, but I do have a little I will be back to report. This weekend I have to renew my license. It is come up, I think, what do we do? Every 3 years, 4 years? I can't even remember,
Every
but
four
it's
years, I think in New
renewal
Jersey.
time.
Yeah.
It's renewal time. So we also know that the real ID goes into effect in a few weeks, May 9th, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. And that is, a certain thing that you need. It's an extra layer of security, I propose. That's what they're doing. And but it's crazy. My son got his license 2 months ago, and his isn't a real ID. Like, why didn't you issue these real IDs
Mm,
when they just got them? When he just got his license. Also, well, now back in August, my husband renewed his license, and his says not for real ID purposes. And I'm like, were they not offering this back in August? Because I know that the real ID process has been delayed numerous times. And there was a few years ago that they were just putting it out there, putting it out there, putting it out there, and then it was delayed. Now they're saying May 9th again, and that's it, no more delays. Well, I have my appointment this Saturday, so I was hearing that I have to bring the 6 points like you usually do. I
Mhm.
think Pennsylvania might be 4 points, but I know in Jersey we have 6 points. So um, I have a few questions when I go down there and ask them, why would my son need to make another visit, another appointment when he was just getting that at the time? Now, for my family, we're okay because we all have passports. So if we do need to fly domestic, we can use our passport for the time being. However, I'm hearing that people who are going online trying to get these appointments before May 9th, they are all booked up. They're all sold out. There's no more times or what have you up and down the state. So, for those of you who are out there, you know, if you have a passport, that is what you're going to need to use if you need to fly domestically and you do not have this real ID purpose. And it's something you just really need to do because you don't want to need it when you need it. You know what I mean? And not have it. So just get out there, make these appointments. It just so happened that mine was up for renewal. So I'm doing everything and I'm not walking out of there without a real ID.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I know someone that has had their real ID for a couple of years now.
I have.
When they renewed it, they just gave them a real ID. I know when I moved here to Georgia and I went to get a new license, they gave us a real ID.
Nope.
Even my
At,
daughter's learner's permit is a
nope.
real ID.
Nope.
No,
And that
one is
might be
a
that.
yeah, no, I take that back. Her learner's permit is not a real ID. Her Georgia ID, identification
Yeah.
card is a real ID.
Her
Her learner's
non-driver's
Gotcha.
permit
license.
is
Yeah.
not. But
Mhm.
my driver's license, my husband's driver's license, I mean, we didn't even ask for it. They just automatically gave it to us. So I think that's strange that they didn't
Nope.
give your son,
That's
and he has a
no, and
license, not a permit.
he was
Like it's a
oh
license.
no, he's fully licensed
Yeah.
driver. It is the probationary, which is that was different from when we got our license.
Mhm.
We had to turn sideways to show that we were under 21, and that's all they needed to see to get in the club or to get some at the liquor store. That's how they could tell. But this is all new. But he does
But they
not
might
have
not
his
have
real
gotten a
ID.
system. Yeah, they might not have gotten the upgraded software system to do it. I mean, in
That's
Delaware,
been it's been a
I've
couple of
had
No,
my
years.
we
It's been a
have
few
it.
years though. They
Yeah.
should have
yeah,
had the software to do it. It's
yeah.
been a few years. I don't know
I mean,
why
Jersey
I
has
there's been
it.
so
There's
much
numerous
delay.
people who have it, who have gotten it. Jersey
um,
does have it, but it's just I don't know why he did not get the real ID
mm,
automatically from the rip.
yeah, that should have been.
Was it more money? Was it whatever? If that was
Mm-mm,
the case, that should have went on, in the application fee,
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, so those of you, you don't want
yeah.
to scramble and try to get this all
Mm-mm.
going on. You never know. There's weddings, there's job interviews, there's,
Yeah, in
funerals.
Delaware, we got. I think I got it when I first moved to Delaware because it has. It's kind of funny how the ID looks because it don't say. People are looking for it to say real ID. It don't say all that shit on there. I
It's
mean, it's
just a
got like a
star.
yeah, it's a star in the corner that
Hmm.
identifies that you've been through the process of
But
declaring. I
now,
guess
if
you're
you
a
don't
citizen.
have a real ID, it says that on your license, not
Yeah,
a real ID.
yeah.
All three, my husband and both sons, none of theirs says real
Wow.
ID on it. And my oldest, he flies, he's always in Atlanta, Miami. Him and his friends they jump all around. And I'm like, dude, you're going to now have to carry your passport with you until you get
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
situated. So, people try to get this done sooner or later.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'll be getting mine done this weekend. So, good old trip
Good
to
luck.
motor vehicles. And what's all this appointment stuff? I used to could do this
I
in the mail.
know.
I've had the same picture ID for eons now. Like my hair has grown 3 times since the last remember I could use the same picture over and
Mhm.
over. They send it to you back in the mail. Nope, you have to make an appointment now. You have to show up. I'm like, oh, y'all are annoying as is. So that's what I got going on amongst 8,000 more things, but I digress.
Good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck.
I'm on mute. I'm just talking away, y'all. I've been talking this whole damn time.
Okay.
You saw. I was like, we were tapping. Like,
I was talking
okay.
about the star or the ID. I've been just chit chatting it up.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it's been pretty quiet in my neck of the woods. Busy but quiet, nothing crazy going on. So I'm thankful for that. So let's go ahead and get into this show, ladies. All right, let's see where we want to start. We got time.
Ah,
We gotta get the V with the T out the way. So let's start with this Anthony Edwards.
oh, this guy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. No, 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 no. We're not gonna start with Anthony. We're gonna start with all right, I'm gonna just say this. Yeah, people been complaining that they ain't heard from Obama, they ain't heard from Kamala Harris. Now all of a sudden, both of them have spoken and they out there. And you know, she pretty much said, no, she didn't pretty much say it. She said,
She said it. She said it.
I told you so.
Hmm.
And Van Lathan is like pretty much like, yo, I don't think she should have said that and this, that, and the third. Dude, let's be real. She did
She
tell you
did.
so.
She did. Where's the
And
lie?
I'm confused as to why that's a problem. Is it a problem because it's a black woman? Like, let's just be real. I hate to put race and gender into things, but
I
sometimes I
don't.
feel like these people just be talking out the side of their neck. Like, for real. Like, she's telling the truth. There's nothing wrong with her telling the truth. She tried to tell y'all over and over and over and over again. And you could talk about whatever kind of race she ran, how she should have done more, she should have done less, whatever. Like at the end of the day, she was going to save us from this chaos. Y'all chose not to vote her in, and
And
y'all
there's
y'all
that.
see she didn't told y'all what y'all was going to get, and that's exactly what y'all getting. She did tell you so. I don't see what the problem is.
I don't either. And I feel like this. He told you too. He told you
Yeah.
who he was. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know where everybody was at. Where y'all not listening? If people, if everybody on crack or something, are y'all messing with that damn meth? Because I really remember him telling you exactly what he was going to do, and he's done it. And everybody has been saying the narrative since she didn't win. We needed somebody to lower the price of eggs, gas. We needed a better. I can't function. I wasn't living well. Well, goddamn it, look at where you're at now. He's raising the unemployment rate is going high. So many people have lost their jobs that never would have thought they would have, come in and deal with this nightmare in January. This man has been in office less than 100 days. He promised what he was going to do. I think he's on a vengeance tour. Somebody's out for
Yeah.
revenge, and he's just showing his vengeance at this point. He's being, like we always say, Pop needs to have his diaper changed, and somebody needs to make sure that they do a senility check on him. I mean, at this point, she said what she said because that's what y'all seem to like, right? You want somebody to be forward. You want somebody to be, say what they got to say. The whole time on the campaign, she was trying to be nice. Hey, I'm trying to let you guys know, please, I can make these changes. Just give me an opportunity. And you didn't. So now today she's going to say what y'all like, the bluntness, right? This is what people want to hear. They said we want somebody real and be blunt and tell us what they feel. When she said what she said, she exactly is right. She said, not like I didn't tell you so. And she laughed it off with her, her little crazy laugh, which I enjoyed very much. Now, this is the problem with this misogyny and these men and these black men. As I said before, and I'll say again, y'all never disappoint, do you? You just don't disappoint. At this point, you don't know how to protect. Sometimes, my grandmother used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, keep your goddamn mouth shut. And that's how I felt about Van with his funny looking self. Keep your mouth shut. Like now, somebody's giving you another media to talk in because didn't you get released from TMZ? Wasn't he on TMZ? Um, yeah, I think he was. Yeah. You got
Oh
released from,
yeah, he
and
was.
as I remember, you got released from TMZ. Now you're sitting with what's that girl's name? Abby. Whew. She don't know how to have a real opinion. So I mean, at this point, y'all just robots, just coming out. That's why people are stopping looking at mainstream news. I'm surprised even somebody showed him talking about it because I really didn't think it was a conversation to have. She said what she said. She said it. And there's no denying. And everybody can keep going back and say, I don't remember her saying that. Let's just pull the tapes. They're out there. She said what she said. So you
This
thought
is
she was
the
being
thing.
facetious? No, I think she was being real.
Right. And this is the thing that gets me. This man and his administration says whatever the hell they want to say, and don't nobody
Mhm.
clock them for shit.
Oh my God, what he
Kamala
said
speaking the
today,
damn
last
truth
night.
and said, I told you
Yeah,
so, which is the dag on truth. And this is a
Yeah.
whole conversation that you
yeah,
done used for this time, this TV time, and you gonna bring
yeah.
it up. And I just was like, I can't
It's
believe
really
out of
good.
all the things that y'all can talk about, this man is gonna sit here and yet again bring this black woman down. And I don't care. I'm gonna call a spade a
Yeah,
spade.
that's right.
It's about race and gender, period.
That's right. Yeah,
And
It's
it was
always been.
like out of all the things that she said on that podium, that's what you decided to talk about. Come
yeah.
on,
She
man.
said a lot more than that. And I'm gonna tell you too. That asshole said last night, "Oh, they're kissing my ass." Are you serious? Is this presidential? They're kissing my ass for these tariffs to go away? You said that last. He said that last night. And is anybody clocking that? I saw the View clocked it because I saw it on the View. I'm like saying this
Ain't
man has
nobody
said the
kissing
most
his
ignorant.
goddamn ass. Let's
Well, we
just
know
be
Not
that.
at
clear.
all.
Let's
Not
Not
be
at
at
all.
all.
clear.
Not
I said I wasn't
let's
gonna talk about this
no.
damn tariffs,
And so we're
and I
not.
know I'm not, but ain't nobody kissing
No,
nobody's
kissing that.
ass.
Well, first of all,
Yep.
if they were kissing his ass, then he would have said you got until the end of the month, not 90 days. Who the fuck gives 90 days? It's like a probationary period. If you're going to hire them or you're not, are you going to keep them on or you're not? That's where we at this point. Okay, so
No.
This the
The
fifth
wealthy
damn
made a
time he done
phone
done it.
call.
that's right.
No. The
We're over the fair.
wealthy made a phone
And
call.
that's what
That
it
When
was,
part.
and that's
that
what that part right
when the
there.
stock market
Yeah,
dropped, the wealthy picked up the phone.
like I told my
Because
mom, I said
one thing the
that's right.
wealthy don't want to be is
It's
not
poor.
wealthy
That's
anymore.
amen. The rich is
Okay?
only about being rich, baby. They ain't never want to. They know nothing about poor. So now you're gonna take their money away. Rich is trying to get more money, more money. So this
They
is
are
where I
not
told my mom,
interested in going in
no,
reverse.
no. I said the
Mm-mm.
Republicans are now speaking up only because those super PACs came to them billionaires that backed their damn campaigns. Not let me help y'all out, MAGA Knights or whatever, maggots or whatever you want to call yourselves. They don't give a fuck about what you think. Even as
Mm-mm.
constituents, they don't care. They haven't done anything for you. But the minute that super PAC, those people that are giving those billionaires for their campaigns, came and said, "You better straighten this shit out, or we're not gonna back your campaign." That's what really happened here, and that's when they said, "Oh shit!" They started having a whole damn hearing around it. Before they didn't even have a hearing. They're like, "Oh, we think that Congress should handle tariffs." Well, Congress was always supposed to handle tariffs. It never should have got to the president at this point. But let's just move away from that. Let me go back to Kamala. She said what she said because it's the truth. And people, y'all don't want to hear the truth. Let's all suck it up. Van, whatever his name is, with his funny looking self, please stop. Stop this raccooning because it is not good. Stop the raccoon. Stop the misogyny. You can say what you want to say because she's black and she's a woman, and you had a problem with her just calling out the bullshit. And guess what? We seen Jasmine Crockett do it, right? We women, listen, black women, what? We man up. When you men are still acting and holding on to your damn penises, we're in the fight no matter what. Man up.
You're right. VP, former VP Harris took 100 days to drill and drill and drill the information into us while the present president confirmed. He everything that she was saying, he validated it. He confirmed it at the time. There wasn't anything that she was warning us. It wasn't that she was telling us. She was literally warning us. She did it on open stages, open platforms, during debates. She did it. She warned us. But what really pisses me off is when social media comes together, which used to be Twitter, which is, I don't know what that is now, X. I am big on threads. I'm a big, huge threads person. Um, what pisses me off the most are the ones that are saying, where is she? She has to do something. She needs to do something. She did. She took 100 days, warned you, ran on that, strictly on that. There wasn't anything that she warned us. It wasn't anything that she told us. And you know why? Because she had the experience. She knows more than what we know. She all but told us, if you don't vote for me and you let him back in there, it is going to be dangerous. Well, hello, dangerous. We're here. We are here. And how dare those who want her to speak out, and Van wasn't one of them, but how dare those that wanted her to speak out, do something, do something. She applied for the job. She didn't get it. So her last day at work was January 20th. She became a civil servant just like we do. That was the end of her job. As of January 20th, she was unemployed, along with a whole slew of rest. So this is what America chose. This everything that's going on. They chose for Trump to be in office. Now they have to deal with the consequences. So now that she spoke up and said, what else could she say? I just want to know what it is that people want her to say. That's it. I would really want to know, what is it that you think she can offer us right now that is going to be helpful? Really, honestly, there's nothing she could say to me. We could have tea time, we could sip some wine, we could kiki in the kitchen over brunch and whatever. Really, there's nothing that she could say to us right now except for, I told you so.
That's right. I mean, she's not Peter Popoff. Is his name Popoff or whatever? That with the
I don't
miracle
know.
Peter
water.
Peter
Y'all look,
Popoff.
yeah. What y'all looking for? Some damn miracle water that they sent through the mail? What do you want from this woman? God damn it! It is nothing she can say. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Something that I really saw. Do y'all know eggs went down? Guess what? They went from a 24 pack from 11.99 to 9.99.
Oh, oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
But oh, that's right. But everybody kept saying the price of eggs. We ain't see. But guess what else went down this week? Your
Our
damn
Your
401ks.
401k,
401k.
If
all
you
of
wanted
us.
something to go down, 401ks went down, baby. He did promise something would go down, and it was your 401 goddamn K. People get a life. Stop.
That's it.
They went down. That's all I can say. That's the only thing I saw went down. That he promised that something was going to happen. Mm.
That's funny. All right, let's get it. It's funny, but it's not funny because we
No, it's
lost
not.
money. Everybody
Yeah,
lost money. But
everybody lost money, but it'll come back. We saw the
yeah,
It
market.
will.
The Dow jumped up to 2,000 points after he said that he
yeah.
was going.
But you playing with
Of
people's money.
course.
You
Yeah,
playing with
yeah.
people's
Oh,
money.
Not
And
not
let's
just their money,
listen.
their
Just
livelihood.
quick sidebar though. I'm gonna need some judges, the Congress, somebody to step up
Hmm.
and call
Man
illegal
up.
shit out
That's
because
right.
what he tweeted about going to buy some stocks is not something a sitting president should be doing.
Hmm.
Let me make sure I got this right.
Insider
You
trading was
put
what
in
they used to call it.
you put in tariffs and then told people to go buy. And then
Hmm.
you turned around not even 24 hours later and removed the tariffs. I got that
Hmm.
right? I'm sorry.
But nothing was on a fire sale. I told my mom that. I said, she said, "Oh yeah, I think Margie Teller Green." I said, "Well, she's the most ignorant piece of shit
Yeah.
that ever came in this place of the earth." I mean, I don't know who raised her, some pigs. Anyway, she went to buy some. She brought up some stock. Let me tell you, boo. I mean, I probably don't own as much Amazon as she does. But when I brought Amazon, it was $89 a share. You brought it today for 173. Okay, that wasn't no fire sale for me. I was
Nope.
gonna keep my little pennies. So just help me understand. I
Child,
mean,
listen.
you know,
Just
people
ride
raised
the
We
by
go
wolves
wave.
are better.
we gonna move on because
Yeah, let's
we
move
can
on.
talk about this shit
Yeah,
all
let's
day,
go
and
on.
I'm so
Let's
tired
go
of
on.
talking about politics. At the end
Yes.
of the
Mhm.
day, Kamala told y'all so,
She said what she
That's
and
it.
said.
we
There
gonna
was
move
nothing
on.
else for
That's her.
her to say, but I told you so. There was
That's
Buckle
nothing
what she
up
else.
said.
and enjoy the
Hold on
ride
tight.
because it's gonna
That's
be
right.
bumpy, and you gonna probably shit your pants a couple times, and just
Mhm.
that's all I can tell you.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's talk about this other interesting situation. Anthony Edwards, baby mama told her she ain't, he told her, I don't want the baby, I don't want nothing to do with the baby. My understanding is, he pretty much then paid her a lump sum. Here you go. Go forth and prosper. I don't want nothing to do with this kid. Now, I have mixed emotions about all of this because I am a believer and I have daughters. I don't have a son, right? I have a friend that has a son. She has a couple of sons, and she pretty much told her sons, if you get somebody pregnant and you don't want the baby, I stand behind you signing away your rights. I took offense to that. I take offense to this Anthony Edwards thing, and I think I do because it's like it takes two to tango. I mean, everybody learning the same sex education class, the girls and the guys. It takes two to tango, and if you didn't want children, then you should have done whatever you needed to do to make sure that you didn't get somebody pregnant. And I don't think it's fair to bring somebody into this world, whether you wanted that baby brought into the world and she or not, and she chose to bring the baby into the world anyway, for you to do some shit like that. I mean, and I guess the judge is like, listen, he done paid. That's all he's required to do
Well,
is
that's a
child
myth.
support.
He didn't pay
And
the child
so,
support.
oh,
He
I
ain't
thought he
pay it.
was.
No, he asked could he pay it that way. They're still in court. No, he
Oh,
and
oh, oh, it
she came
hasn't been
out.
decided
Yeah,
yet.
she came out and said it was a lot of things she said. Like people were like they pay he gave her $100,000 to get abortion. They said that's a lie. She said that's a lie. I did not get any money. He did not pay me to get abortion, and he hasn't objected to say that she's lying. These are all things that people are saying is hearsay because he did ask the judge, "Can I just pay the lump sum all at once?" They have not decided and settled that yet because I mean, come on, you can't just make those determinations because we know things change. The amount of money could change. How much he makes could change. First of all, I'm gonna say this: he's immature and young and dumb. First of all, why would you agree to give somebody all of their money up front when financially in 20 from 10 years from now, God forbid, and please don't think I'm putting any bad karma on him, but you could break a leg or something and you're not making the kind of money that you make today. And so they would lower your child support, stupid, if you would like to know, because you don't make the money that you're making at the abundance that you're making right now. That's why he's saying, "I got more than enough money. I could just pay it all at once." And I don't think the judge had agreed to that, but people on social media is passing that kind of thing. But they're still in court trying to settle this out, from what I understand. But I'm going to get away from because I can't worry about. I always tell people I'm not Capital One, so I don't give a damn what's in your wallet. Well, my problem with this and is I put on a couple men's that were on TikTok saying, "Listen, this," and I put on there. You know what? I feel sorry that he couldn't abstain. That's my comment on that. I'm sorry, young man could not abstain. And then I put a clown face because this is clown. This is clown mess to me. Um, that woman is 38 years old and you're 24 or 23, whatever you are. And at any point in time, I don't know. I'm gonna come back to the question of when the last time you go to a sex ed class that you didn't know that she was still fertile enough to have babies? I don't think she went through menopause. Do you? I mean, and I keep saying it, a $20 box of condoms. If I could find my box, a $20 box of condoms wouldn't save
Sorry.
all of this shit. Okay. I wish I could find that damn
She said,
Trojan
"Let me
box.
go find my box."
Okay, and listen, I ain't at no baby. There's no baby coming out of here. But a $20 box of condoms, you can get enough packs. Because I'm gonna tell you didn't say this was a one night stand. This wasn't a baby from a one night stand. You were having a relationship with her at the same time you was having a relationship with your other baby's mama, because I think she had a baby at the same time. So we got a lot of tomfoolery here, tomfuckery here going on. All right, we got a lot of dick con going on here. So with that said, my concern and the move away from what you do in your relationships and how you decide that you're going to sling it, and she brought it. Remember that. Just throw that back in there for you. The baby, the child, the child is 5 months now, right? It's a little girl. And people, when you make these decisions, I always say we spend more time doing something else than we do picking out the mate or whoever we have our children with. And when you were having sex with her, you don't remember sex ed class because you're 23, so you're a consenting adult. You're not 16, baby, and so you should know better and how babies are brought into the world. But if that child gets sick or something that child needs from you, God forbid that you're going to say you're going to walk away from this, because I hate to tell you, these are possibilities and these are things that could happen during the time that this child is only 5 months old to the time of not even 18 to adulthood. Or you might need something from that child, right? We've known a lot of people have given their kidneys to a parent if they were a match. There could be various ways. I just saw Mark Lamont Hill say that he found out he had an 18-year-old daughter. I'm pretty sure that was the way he said, right? And ladies and gentlemen, because this takes both of you, right? It takes two people to procreate and have children. You need to think this out before you walk away. That 18-year-old, his daughter was yearning to find out who her daddy was. Could you imagine not to just find out who your dad is, but to have all across social media? Please stop this social media shit when we're talking
Mm.
about things that are so sensitive, because this is really sensitive, that somebody could go back and find it and pull it back up. We've seen it happen to a lot of people where people pulled up old news that they posted out back on MySpace page or whatever it was called.
Yup.
Okay. And now that kid can find out that you said, I don't want no parts of her. Not that you don't want no part of the mother. I mean, even better yet, you could have just asked for custody if you wanted to. You might have gotten it. I don't know. But I'm
He don't
saying,
want
you said,
custody. He
and
don't
I
want the
know, but
baby. He
I
didn't
know,
want the
I know.
baby to be born. Like,
I fully understand that, but I'm just saying, at this point, the baby is here. There's nothing you could go. I mean, she will probably resent her mother for just having her and knowing that you really did not want to be the father, but you are. I don't give a damn what you keep thinking. Even if you tell the courts, I don't want custody, that does not make you not be the father of this baby. And that kid may at some point come back looking for you. Okay. And like I said, you might need that child as she might need you. At this point, you're 24 years old, and I hope that it's your immaturity that's making you make these bad ass decisions. at this point, because I would hope that you understand this child didn't ask to be here. She's in the middle of something that she didn't even know she got put in this world to be in the middle of. And I resent anybody that says, "Oh, well, you could just walk away." Well, guess what? You could have walked away and kept your damn dick in your pants too, but you chose not to do so. So now there's a human being involved, and you cannot just say, "Oh, I mean, excuse me." You can say that in the court of law. You can say, "I don't want to cuss you. I don't want nothing." But at the end of the day, don't let this be the black eye of your life, young man. That you're going to resent this or regret this, or you might need that child at some point in time, and you never know. We need to be real careful. That's why I always say, be careful who you have your children with, men and women. But you might need that child, and that child might need you. I mean, we know kids come in the world with sicknesses and illnesses. If you had her blood type, you could save her life. Would you not do that? Because now I'm concerned about you and your damn integrity at this point when you're making decisions and bad decisions like that. But I'm going to say I'm going to give you a
Listen,
minor pass because you're 24 and you don't seem like you have enough damn common sense to know better.
I mean, his integrity was in question when he was having raw sex with two different women,
Exactly. Raw
producing
dogging it.
babies.
Yeah.
And, not only that, but, you know, when you have a situation like this and you're accepting one child and not accepting the other, and like
Yeah.
you said, this is all over social media, that's gonna have some serious, like that child when they get older and they know that, that's just sad. Um,
Well, welcome to dysfunction,
yeah,
little girl.
yeah.
Welcome to future dysfunction, number one. And
Family
this is
trauma.
all about choices. And both of them need to be held accountable for the choices that they made. How old is she again?
38.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's
Absolutely.
let's
Yep.
let's talk
Exactly.
about that. Let's talk about how old she is and how she was in a relationship with, for the lack of what I know because I have boys, a 23-year-old boy has no more common sense, or 23, 24, no more common sense than the 17-year-old I got up
Hmm.
there, has no more common sense than, I'll give my oldest to be about 2 years ago, which would have made him about 25 when he started really, it started clicking that, yeah, hello, the light bulb went off around 25, 26.
Because
Okay.
that's when your brain is
So,
fully developed at
That's
that
right.
age. That's
right.
why the light bulb goes off.
And not only that, you're taking a 23-year-old boy, kid, kid, that was granted, because of the skill and the talent that he has, was granted millions of dollars, something that he never grew up having. And now he has millions of dollars and thousands of women at his disposal. And you chose to be one of those women and had a relationship with this kid. And to me, in my eyes, this is my own humble opinion, you're a grown ass woman. By now, she's 30. Let me get her age right,
38.
35, 36,
No, they
38.
went into. Yeah, she was. Yeah, this was a situationship.
She's
She's
38.
38, and she already has a child by little baby.
Right, that part I
Okay.
knew.
Hmm.
So we're looking at the choices. And I'm going to say this: how about we bring back the value of parenthood? That is lost. To become a parent to a child and what parenthood really means, I think somewhere down the line, they didn't get the memo or something, because children became, children have always been in, let me watch my mouth, in, across society. I'm not going to put one culture against another, but across society, some children to some folk have been cash cows, a
Hmm.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Uh, whatever you want, supplemental income. Call it what you want. For some, for others, being parents or the yearning to be parents. And then you have these, uh, I don't even know, influencers, but who the hell they influencing? So you got a sports guy who's 23 years old that's laying it down and spreading it wide. He's planting his seeds all over. However, she was the one he didn't want to. Okay, so she looks like Boo Boo the Fool. He's going to walk away from this unscathed because she's still going to look like a fool with these two children, with two different babies' fathers, which is okay. But the one you can't even say because he wants all of his rights. He wants all of that taken away. He does not want it. And if the judge grants him this and he pays that lump sum, then you know what, y'all? So be it. That is that generation, and I can't even put that on them as a whole, but social media, these major paydays for these sports figures, uh, these groupies who have become leveled up. I'm like, there's layers to this now. They are, it's different. Times are different, and social media has made the biggest change of it all, has been a major influence, has been an increase, it has been a downfall, it has been all of the above. But this is what we're dealing with. Women in their 30s who choose to be social media influencers or OnlyFans or whatever love and hip hop you can get on by way of whatever state, city will have you. I don't know, but it's different out here. And the value of becoming a parent has been lost. And whatever the judge chooses, fine. Let them, ooh, if y'all like it, I don't. I can't even say if y'all like it, I love it. I
Mm-mm,
can't.
I
That
don't.
is
I don't.
not the integrity. He didn't have integrity when all those numbers came after the decimal point in his bank account. He's thinking differently than you and I and and the majority. They think different. Even take the era of the 80s and the early 90s. Those ball players and those sports, they had some, I mean, they did their thing, but this is different. And I just can't adjust. And I don't have to. So I'm going to take it as I'm going to judge and say, y'all are whack, y'all are clowns. But I'm also
Mm-mm.
going to say, what y'all eat don't make me shit. So therefore, y'all do you. But I'm going to be over here trying to teach this generation around me and everything. Yeah, yeah, that's not cute. That's not cute.
Well,
That's
I
not
will
cute. And
say
that's not going to that's not going to last long.
no. But what
That's
I
not
will
going to
say about
last
her,
long.
she's been posting saying, talking about these other chicks. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I did laugh. She said, listen, while y'all having babies by these motherfuckers that hardly working playing video games all day, pretty much is what she said, or ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about mine. And listen, girlfriend, as long as I don't have to give any more of my taxpayer dollars to you having some baby, and that man said he gonna take care of it, I'm not gonna worry about yours.
And
I
you know
bet
Yeah,
why
you I.
you
listen.
laughed, Weekday? You know why you laugh? Because that's what we supposed to do at
Yep,
clowns.
yep,
Clowns are supposed to make us laugh.
yep. And
So
it's
though
funny,
that
yep.
clown
And this clown
behavior, ha
behavior,
ha
mhm,
ha. Not
it is
my
Child,
clown
monkey,
behavior.
not
listen.
my circus, not my
Yeah,
monkey, and not
mm.
my circus.
People coming down that clown
Yeah.
car every day. Mm.
Yes, child. Listen. It there's so much I could say about this. I just think, to both of y'all's points, Bookworm, you were talking about age. Age does play a factor in this
Mhm.
wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
They're not, he is not even in his right mind right now. Right now, he is at that stage where he get more, vajayjay than he never got in his entire life.
I remember
He's making
23.
millions. Yeah, he's making millions of dollars. And, at the end of the day, he thinks that his shit don't stink, and he doesn't understand that the impact that this is going to have on this child. Um,
Neither one of them do. Neither
Well,
one
no,
of
now
them.
neither
you
one. And
know,
guess what? He should buy as many condoms as uh
Why?
Diddy had a baby on,
no,
and then
He
no.
he'll be
doesn't
able
He
to.
believe
gonna
what he's
he's
doing is
gonna
wrong.
right. He's gonna continue to
Yes.
do what
Terrible.
he's doing.
No,
Um,
until a judge says to him, you need a vasectomy. If a judge
yeah,
orders him to get a
Mhm.
vasectomy, then
Yeah.
he will be doing what he thinks and what he's 23 and he's going to do what a 23-year-old is going to do with all that money, all of that fame, all of that notoriety, and those chicks are going to be right there scooping it up. Listen, they're
yeah.
why they could only hope to get pregnant,
Yeah.
hope to
So
carry him to court, hope to get millions of dollars, and hope not to see his face ever again. It's the kids we got to worry about. That's
right, and I
dysfunction in
think
the
that
making.
yeah, I think that even the comment that you talked about weekday, it was childish, and it's I mean, she thinks that's a flex. That's not a flex. What
At
it is
all.
not a flex to be having unprotected sex with these kids because you a whole grown ass woman. You out here having unprotected because little baby ain't that much older than homeboy either, right?
No.
So you
Really?
out here having
Okay.
unprotected sex with these young people, with these young boys. You
Mhm.
are having babies by them, and you think it's a flex because he a millionaire and hers ain't. No, like stop the madness. Like it's crazy to me. Um that's not a flex, honey. I'm sorry. That's not a flex because this baby that's here, that's been here for 5 months. As she gets older, she gonna have daddy issues. She gonna be in therapy. She gonna
Mhm.
be making some of the same dumbass decisions you making
Mhm.
because you thought this shit was cute and it's not cute. So
Mhm.
I digress. What time is it? Let's talk real quick. I want to talk about this. I think we got enough time to talk about it. So y'all have been seeing how they've been talking about Issa Rae and her
Hmm.
blackness being questioned. And I just thought this would be a really good topic to discuss. Um, why as black people do we do this? I grew up in a, you know, diverse neighborhood. I went to a predominantly white high school. Um, I articulate my words. I was questioned about my blackness several times because of the way I talk, like I talk like a white girl. I'm like, what do you mean I talk like a white girl? What does that even mean? Um, and I just feel some kind of way about somebody, especially us, questioning somebody's blackness just because of where they were born, how they were raised, how much money they had. I think no matter what we go through, and everybody's struggle is different, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the hood if I ain't grow up in the hood. I can only talk about what I know, right? Um, and I don't know the whole story, so correct, fill
Okay.
me in. Yeah, because I
Okay.
definitely don't understand the whole story, but I
Okay.
do understand that you know, there were some things that maybe she said that people felt like she didn't have the right to say because of how she grew up. And I just feel like it just to me has gotten out of hand. Um there's probably some things I've said that I probably shouldn't have said because of how I grew up. Does that mean I'm not black enough? Does that mean I don't have the right to talk about things? I don't know. I want to know what y'all take is on that. And talking about Issa Rae, I want to talk about her, right? But I also want to talk about, why do we question how black somebody is based on their experiences? Why do we make assumptions about people of color, right? Like because I'm black, you make an assumption that I grew up a certain way. Like why do we do that as a
I
culture?
guess I didn't hear all of it. I saw her on an interview with somebody talking about her father. They lived in Senegal or something like that. She kind of went through this conversation. about that and how she grew up and in different ways and sound like her family was a middle class family. I think it's unfair that I'm going to tell you I've seen both sides, right? So I grew up in the hood. I also, you know, lived in middle class and went to school with 60% white kids, and then I decided to go back to the hood and go back and finish high school. Um I'll say this. This doesn't define if people I think people spend too much time trying to define blackness, right? There's no definition on this. Because I'm poorer than you. I know people that were poorer than me. I always talk about the mayonnaise sandwich. I never had to eat mayonnaise sandwich. We always had some meat between the bread. But I know people that in the hood that's what they did. I remember the hood for me being about family, about us all living in the same situation, but we all stuck together and it was a neighborhood and we became family as a neighborhood. That's how I remember the hood. So we never defined people by, oh, if you didn't grow up in the hood. Yeah, there's some things that you would not understand if you didn't grow up in the hood. And I always tell people you don't understand the whole connection. Today the hood is not the same, but when I grew up in the hood, we were all connected by family. Like my dad would say, go down to such and such house, get such and such from them, tell them I'll give them some money tomorrow, or the corner store you can go to, and they'd be like, okay, what you need? We run it. Somebody would run a tab at the corner store. That's how I grew up. So I really want people to define this blackness that you are talking about, because all of you, and I'm not going to say all of you, but the majority of blacks that grew up in the hood today, if you had that conversation with them, some of them would ignore the fact that they never want to go back there. And some of them would say, oh, but my kids go to suburban schools and we do this, that, and the other. So yeah, you wanted to move out of that situation too. And you wanted your kids to have a better life than you did. That's what the dream is, right? Once I get this life, I want to move my kids so they can have a better life, and so forth and so on. So, I saw this woman out there asking her daughter what was Section 8. She said she thought it was a community. Well, we know what Section 8 yeah, we know what Section 8 is. So, this really comes down to not what's your blackness, what are you being taught at home? How are you growing up? How are you understanding the aspect? And if we want to go back, stop questioning other people's blackness, because I want to question, what do you know about your black damn history? And what are you telling your children about your black history? So if you can't come from that part and that point, and start from there to tell me anything you know other than Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Harriet Tubman, then guess what? Take 3 or 4 seats for me, because you don't know your blackness. And that's how I'm going to leave that for me.
Oh, this post went nuts, and it started on none other than Threads. So the original poster, the original thread started from a black woman who happens to have a PhD. And she brought up the movie, Just One of Those Days, that Issa Rae is a producer on, not the writer. The writer is another lady. I knew her name, but I didn't write it down. So, but she wasn't even the writer. She was one of the producers. She said something to the effect that she didn't like the movie, and instead of saying why she didn't like the movie or what about the movie she did not like, she decided to say that Issa Rae should just stay in her lane with the storytelling and this that and it was just mind-boggling where you had a critique about the movie but did not critique the movie. You critiqued the producer of the movie, not the writer. Well, even to show more ignorance, when you have a script, it goes through multiple
Mhm.
rewrites and edits and drafts and rewrites, and the producers don't really have that much to do with that part. That is with the writing team and all of that. You might even have consultants come in to sit with the writing team, but the producer is somewhat the money, the backer, it depends, and comes in for different purposes, which then opened up for, oh, well, she used to live here, she used to live there, she used to. I just don't understand what that has to do with any. Where did Ava DuVernay grow up? Do you now say that she can now not write and create stories unless it's something that she physically lived through or she physically is in touch with? How would we know what we know today if the people didn't go back and write about them? That is so, it blew my mind that this woman who holds a PhD could even question that and was so ignorant to not know the difference between a writer and a producer. Go ahead, V. What?
That's the thing that's getting me because it's like, when you think about the shows from the 70s, Good
Yeah.
Times, all of that,
What?
all of them type of
Girl,
shows,
please.
they were written and produced by white
White
people who
people.
knew
Yep.
nothing
Mm-mm.
about any struggle from a black person, right? So none of them were ever critiqued. And they a
None.
lot of times did not show us in the best light, right? They were never critiqued. But you want to take black writers, black producers, and now you want to start pinning us against each other? Oh, this situation
And
gets worse. I knew that the lady had a PhD that had started this whole
yep.
conversation, right? But it is
And not only that, these are also people who, oh, she used to live in Senegal. She used to live in LA. She used to live in, oh, but that part of LA.
LA,
Oh,
right?
okay. Like LA is LA. That still doesn't discount her from being from LA. And what does that have to do with her producing this movie? This woman has been around for a long time. Look at her. She don't even look like this anymore. See? This was her first book. This used to be her web series. This used to be her podcast. This book is copyrighted and written in 2015. That's how
Never
far.
tried
See,
She's never tried to be anybody but who she is. I mean, even the awkward black
always,
girl is literally
always.
about how you are trying to fit into this world that don't look like you or don't
And she's
understand things like you
very,
are picked. Like,
h- how unproblematic is Issa? We didn't find out Issa Rae was married, dating, or anything until after she got married. And we ain't seen him since. That's how unproblematic and private she is, except for one old employee is the only one that I've
Mhm.
heard that had something to say. One
Yeah.
person, we all know who that was, but
Mhm.
who, how ignorant, and it just went and it grew legs, and I got back to the part where how and then the woman with the PhD who started it was saying, "Oh, this is out of hand. You taking it out of context." Oh, no, we took it exactly how you meant it. You meant it to the point where I'm thinking, was this a social experiment? Did
I
you do
mean,
a
but
social experiment? Did you see?
please,
But
please
there's
know
so
that it's
many people
Ray.
that dropped on her, like they joined on her bandwagon that are
oh,
like
they did.
so. Like, there's so many people, like, she's saying this is out of hand, but there's so many people that you got to join in
Mhm.
with this
Yes,
foolery. And it's like, yo,
yes.
like, we already
But
got
she
the
was
world
catching it.
against
She
us.
was catching it from she. Oh, they were putting her
And
in her
and that's
place
my
too.
point. My point
She was
is that
catching hell.
do y'all understand that while y'all busy worrying about that bullshit about how black she is, when she shows up, if she showed up for an interview today with her black face, she still combats against the fucking white people. My 8.5 by 11s, because of the caucasity of them.
Oh, I got five
She
and a
still
half by
had.
seven today.
Okay. She still has to she still has to deal with the same things we deal with. No matter how much you guys think that she's higher educated than you, that she comes off knowing a little bit more than you. Guess what? pick up a damn book and read
she's
it.
doing
And
and
guess what?
she's doing
And
so much for
that's
the
right.
black
Yeah,
community. Like the
yeah.
fact that
Oh,
they are even doing
Having
this,
this
and
conversation, it's
it's
ridiculous.
crazy to me. Like that,
she
Yeah.
I'll
has
never
her
forget. I
own.
have a T-shirt that says that. I'll never forget that time on that interview. She said, "I'm voting on the red carpet." She said,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
doing
rooting for
that.
everybody black."
Everything
I
black.
got
Yeah,
that on the T-shirt.
yeah.
Like, yo, like
Yeah, what is wrong
it
with
don't
y'all?
matter how
How
she grew
can you
up. It don't matter
Right.
question
how much money she had. Like, y'all trying to get her money. So are y'all
Yeah,
not gonna be black enough?
off of
Because
that's
this
right.
project? But off of this project that some people liked, some people didn't. But whoever critique Spike Lee, look through all of it. Why should we only tell stories that we've lived? Y'all, if I were to tell my story, y'all be so
Girl.
twisted up. You talk about
Yeah.
diversity. My own family, I grew up in so much diversity in my family. I didn't know if I was coming or going.
Girl.
And the five of us are the Rainbow Coalition up here, and how I grew up. So there is no incident, or there's no event that I
Mhm,
can't. I'm good at code switching when I need
mhm,
to. I tend to not have to by this age, but when I was in my 20s
mhm.
and 30s, I knew how to code switch. I knew how to fit in when I needed to fit in. I knew how to talk when I needed to talk. I knew all of these things. It was just how it was. But knock it off. This she has done nothing with the wine, her own prosecco, the movies. She's keeping people employed, and all she was the producer on this movie. Y'all, come on. It was just an unnecessary trife, and I hope that we as
Do better.
black women have, yeah, come on. We have to do better. We really
We
have to do better.
Yeah, we need to love ourselves more. I think if we can practice loving ourselves, loving our perfect imperfections, if we can love the skin tone that we have, the curves that we have, our lip size, our nose size, the texture of our hair. Like if
Child.
we learn to love ourselves more, then we won't be critiquing other people so much. Like the Four Agreements. So y'all know I always refer back to the Four Agreements. Weekday, you've been reading the Four Agreements. Did you read your book yet?
Nothing.
I'm
Mm-mm.
always gifting that book, right? She's my latest recipient. But one of the Four Agreements is it's not about you, it's about them. When people
Mhm.
say things, it's not about you, it's about how they feeling about themselves. And I think if we learn to love ourselves more, we won't be critiquing each other the way that we do.
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, we are black. The
Mhm.
world sees us as black. We are
Yeah.
black. It does, and like every other race in this United States and the world around us, we all come in different shapes. We all come from different backgrounds. Some of us come from, a household with two parents. Some of us come from a household with one parent. Some of us come from foster homes with no parents. Like we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different, classes, middle class, not so, down in the dirt, like, rich. Like
Mhm.
we are all different, but at the end of the day, we are black. And I feel like, no, you should not be claiming something that you don't know anything about. No. But I'm sorry. I don't see anything wrong with what she did. And the fact that you are sitting there questioning this woman's blackness when she's doing a lot more for our black community than half of you asses are, I'm confused. I'm sorry.
And they
I
don't
just,
do it to the black men. They don't pull the black
Mm-mm.
no,
men's card like that.
Mm-mm.
You will
never.
never see that. The Hughes brothers, you're not going to sit there on social media platform and criticize the Hughes brothers, Spike Lee,
Ryan
uh, uh,
Coogler.
Ryan
Mhm.
Coogler. He was just on, did
Yeah.
an interview the other day. He had something
Yeah.
coming out. You don't do that to these brothers,
Mm-mm.
but you're the first one
And you
to
don't do it
to.
to the other people of non-black people
Like,
that are writing
either.
our stories.
That's
You don't
right.
do it
You
to
know.
them either. And that's
Mm.
one of the biggest issues I have. Like this, like, come on. You want us to be out here executive producing. You want us to be out here writing. You want us to be out here on the big screen. And then when that happens, you find all these ways to critique and to criticize and stop saying somebody not black enough because they speak differently than you, because they
That's right.
grew up differently than you. I'm just as black as everybody on
Mhm.
this podcast here, as they say, right? You
Yep.
got 1 ounce, 1% of some black blood in you. You black.
That's right.
All right.
That's it.
We all three of us come from different backgrounds, right? Like Bookworm said, she got all kinds of
Girl,
diversity going on,
child.
but we
I
still
was
black.
looking every which kind of way, not knowing what.
Mhm.
We
Child.
still black. At the end of the day, we are all black women, and we're gonna support each other, and we're gonna love each other. And I'm not about to sit here and be like, well, you blacker than me because you didn't had this struggle, or I'm
Oh
blacker
no,
than you because, like, that's
It's
just
awful.
stupid.
It's
it is.
awful.
What are
Stop
we
doing
doing?
But
that.
you know what? She needs to go outside and just touch some grass, lady, because you are barking up the wrong tree with Issa. You really are. Go touch
Yes.
grass.
So yeah, so nieces and nephews, love on
Do
yourself.
better.
That is the one of the most important things you can do, is to love yourself and to treat yourself with just the highest regard. And once you do that, you won't be bothered by this
And
stuff
read her
here.
book. Read her book.
Yes.
She got a great story, y'all. She was
Yeah,
the
pick up a
awkward
book.
black
Like
girl.
I said,
She's
That's it.
still
people
an
talk about
awkward
how
black
black.
girl,
She
but she
really
People talk
black.
about how
is.
black
But she
black they
black
are.
And
as
she
you
has
are.
declared it. There.
Yeah.
She just
I
as
mean,
black as you are.
that's right. Mm-mm. Ava
I
DuVernay
can't.
does it well, where she goes back into the history to understand being black. People pick up a book,
It's a
Yeah.
really good
understand your
movie.
blackness.
That's a really good
Yeah,
movie. But all right, let's move on.
yeah.
Let's go ahead and dig into our laundry bag.
Girl, listen,
Let's
I'm gonna tell
pull
you the truth.
out.
It's not enough detergent to wash this shit up. I just really I felt like I couldn't even bring out. I would have had to bring out some bleach, a couple other things. I was even looking at stuff that you clean the house with. Okay, this is how bad this is.
Lord.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you it's called fantasy. That's when I named the letter. Right. So it says, hello, I am a 34-year-old female in a 2-year long relationship with a great guy. My boyfriend is 35 and we are not currently living together, but we are talking about our future plans. He takes care of me, and when I lost my job, he helped out with my car note and he was really supportive, even though I was crashing out at times. I love him for the person he is. So I'm thinking, what the fuck is the problem here? But here it goes. But I'm sexually attracted to his best friend. He is fine. One of my friends is dating him and she talks about how good he is in bed. Last month we went on a couples trip and their room was next to ours. It seems that they were at it all night long. After that, I started thinking about him all the time. I will admit my boyfriend is a boring lover and is not so adventurous. Recently, I've been having some car trouble. My boyfriend lets me drive his car and he gets a ride from someone at work. Last Friday, he had to run some errands after work, so he drove me to work and told me his best friend would pick me up after work. His friend came and picked me up, but on the way to my house, we were talking, and I mentioned about him and my friend and how they seem like they are so physical. He got quiet and then asked me if I was jealous. I laughed, but I think he is interested in me too. Should I overstep the boundaries just to remove the fantasy from my mind? Okay, I'm gonna take a
Who
deep
gonna
breath.
tell her? Who gonna tell her?
Girl, he ain't stunting your ass, and guess what? He
At
gonna end up
all.
telling. He gonna tell his friend. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. The mere fact that okay, you didn't say he came and said drop your drawers in the car and let's get it on, tells me one thing. He's not that interested, and you just got caught. Okay, doing something you have no damn business doing. First of all, your great guy is not. He's gonna be a great guy for somebody else. You are not the one. You're not even ready for that kind of relationship when you're busy thinking about his friend and his sexual abilities. That should be so far off your mind. Do y'all okay, let me go back and help y'all out. Um, I took a sexual ed class in college. Ooh, girl. And I remember that day she showed a movie of and people don't know about Masters and Masters, but it was a husband and wife that wrote about the whole sexual therapy, the theory of sex and how sex is performed and whatever. And she actually showed us a movie, and the instructor, and she said, "Who do you think um came first?" Right? So we saw, when I tell you we saw the whole movie explicitly, like, because I was in college, so it was like, we ain't kids. And she said, "Who do you think came first, the man or the woman?" At first, it took us all a while to get ourselves regrouped because it was really kind of explicit. And surprisingly enough, most people said, "Oh, the man came first," but you find out really it was the woman. Do you know how long it took for that to happen? It took less than 7 minutes. Okay. And that was with a little bit of foreplay. Because if you don't have no foreplay, it's like a 2, 3 minutes. So you're going to give up. My point in this is you're going to give up a good man, a good relationship for less than a 5 minute activity. Bitch, help me understand this. Help me understand this, because guess what? Sex is not all of what a relationship is. It's a nice part of it. If your man ain't adventurous, get him to be adventurous. Do some adventurous stuff. Stop making him so boring. But you sound like you're sexually frustrated in a situation. But for you to be looking on to his friend, and plus on top of this, you really just a low life to even think that even the person that's your friend is having sex with this man. So you're gonna hurt all these people for just a fantasy. Do you know how many times we've all had fantasies? Do you know how many times I played out some of my fantasies? You have to think, and you're not no baby. At 30, whatever she said she was, 34, whatever she said she was,
Mhm.
girl, you ain't no baby. This ain't, how dare you start talking about you having a fantasy? You need to walk away from this relationship that you're in with this gentleman, because really you're wasting his time. All right. You are really wasting his time, and his friend is not let me help. He is not interested in your ass. If he was, he would have tossed your listen, he would have tossed your wig in the car. He's not interested in you like that. He asked you a question because he's really now intrigued by the fact that you're talking and acting, you know, coming on to him. Because that's how he felt. Read the room, people. He says, "Are you jealous?" He didn't say, "Well, let's hook up and can we go by and swing by your house and let me stay for a while?" Read the room. He said, "Are you jealous?" Because now he's questioning, wow, she's thinking about me when she's supposed to be with my boy. There are some codes people. There are people that still have a little bit of integrity left, that they wouldn't go that far. Go seek some damn help, or go get your sexual frustration off with somebody else, but not him. Not him. And he's not going to do it with you anyway. So let that fantasy go. That's failed in this situation. You are lost cause in this. Miss Bookworm, I was just too
I don't
frustrated with that.
I don't I don't understand what what she wants to hear. What do you want us to say? Because I cannot condone this, because "are you jealous" was the safest thing that he could say. Because you're right. If he was with it, it would have been, we would have made a little detour and all of this. That would have happened. There would have been a detour, back alley. He'd have knocked you off right there in the car for and for what it was worth, right there in the car. So you made an advance. The only thing he could think safely to say was, "Are you jealous?" He's not interested in you, and it's going to get back to your man. This is, and honey, you already checked out. You have already checked out. You've checked out when you started inquiring and coming on and really thinking more deeper than just a little lust crush, whatever you want to call it, and let it go in and out of your head, and that was it. But you spoke on it, you spoke on it, you spoke on it, from work. That's number two. So it really wouldn't have been a number one. Uber, he would have, something would have been figured out, but my husband would have never allowed another man to come pick me up from work. Just it just is not happening. It could have been, it doesn't matter. It's not happening. It's just not happening. We just came up in a different era. It doesn't even have to do with insecurities. It's just not happening. You don't you don't set that situation up. It's just you just can't do it. No, no, no. So your man had his boy come pick you up. You shot your shot. It was actually denied. Honey, your man's going to find out eventually, so you might as well make preparations to just kind of go, just dissolve it. Just dissolve it, cuz you've checked out. You've checked out. You really have. And I don't
Yeah.
know what kind of advice you really want from us, other than I can't condone that. And it's still early enough, start dating, but honey, find what you want, because if you are already thinking about doing this while you two are dating, if you get married, you're going to continue doing this. If not for his friend, for someone else. You already have a wandering eye within the relationship. So I think you better just get it all out of you and just start dating around, because until you find someone who tickles your fancy.
Spread it wide and spread it
Yeah.
high.
So this is what I'm gonna say. Something I don't think either one of you have mentioned, and I tell my daughters this all the time. Stop telling people about what you do in the bedroom.
Oh, girl, I
Oh
meant
yeah,
to say
that's
that.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I meant to
forgot.
say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
stop
forgot all
doing
about
that.
that part.
Mhm,
Like, that
yeah.
ain't nobody business but you and whoever you in the bedroom with.
Mhm.
You know, curiosity killed the cat.
Kitty cat.
The kitty cat, right? It killed the cat for real. Like, so you gotta like there's some things that should just be private. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
you know what I mean? And you can talk about how nice of a guy you got, but you need to limit that too. You
Mhm.
know?
Not I.
Because
I'm gonna
you
tell
need to be
y'all he
careful.
trash. Keep
You
away.
need to you need to be
Yeah,
careful because not
You know.
everybody has good intentions and not
that's true.
everybody is as loyal as you think they are. And
Mm-mm.
so it's super important that you keep some things private and that you keep some things tucked to yourself, right? And
Stop being a marketing rep.
this is what I also got to say. This is what I also got to say. Like, I agree with you both. Like, that man ain't trying to sleep with you. If he was
No.
trying to sleep with you, he would have did it in that car.
Right then and
And
there.
Mhm.
he's just asking you some questions because he's probably caught off guard, number one. Number two, he trying to see where you gonna go with this because he's definitely, if that is, first of all, if they that close of best friends where that man can call him and say, yo, go pick up my girl,
Mhm. Yeah,
he telling.
he telling.
He
Yeah,
telling.
yeah. Mhm.
So I don't even think he the type that's gonna use that as blackmail on you.
Mm-mm.
He
No,
telling.
it don't even. He's just gonna be like, "Yo, when I picked her up, she
Yep.
said some kind of stuff that made me
Some
feel a little
crazy shit.
uncomfortable.
That's right. Yeah.
And if my girl would have said that to you, I would have been pissed. So I think you
Mhm.
should know."
Right.
That's it. That
So
that's that's an easy
and
text.
I'm gonna say this also, like, yo, if you into that kind of thing, stop messing with these good guys. You settle down with the
Hmm.
good guys. Leave them alone until you ready to settle down. Cause now
Go
you
back
messing
to
with this
dating.
good guy. Now
Yep.
he gonna be all effed up,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be on you. You know this is a good man. And if he's not your cup of tea, listen, you can find you a good man that's also good in the bed. They're
Mhm.
out there, believe it or
Right.
not.
Date.
So
Get
if
out
you
of a
don't, if
relationship.
he doesn't have everything that you need, and obviously if you fantasizing sexually about another man, that's at the top
Oh,
of your that's part of your top three
Yeah.
things that you need in a relationship, then maybe this ain't the dude for you. that 80
Mm-mm.
20 rule is not, it ain't,
Mm-mm.
it ain't mathing for you. So that's okay. Let that good man go. Let him go find a woman that's good with that boring sex and go be happy with her. That
Remember,
ain't your
that's boring
thing.
for her.
Right,
That's
that's what I'm
boring for
saying.
her.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why I said that boring sex, like it ain't boring to everybody. So let her go
Mm-mm.
and
No.
him go find that woman and you go on about your life. But I mean, you going on about your life regardless, because I guarantee you he
Mm-hmm.
telling his boy.
He tell him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I got more guy friends than I got girlfriends. And I can tell you from experience, if that man wanted to fuck you,
Girl,
He would have.
he would have had that.
He would have.
Girl, let me tell
it
you.
would have been done.
Hey, it would have been done. It would be no
Men are from
question.
Mars, women are from Venus.
That's
Okay?
right. The minute did you act like you opened that door for him, damn sure he would have closed it for you if
He's
he
just
really
not the
was
He was.
interested.
confrontational type. So that's why he didn't go off on you in that
Yeah,
car. But
yeah.
best believe he gonna
Mhm.
figure out a way to make sure his boy know. The next time you, because you see your car's still in the shop. Next time he
Yeah,
asks you, ask him to go pick up that car, he gonna be like, yeah, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do that, bruh.
yeah. You gonna have to talk to your girl, man, because she got
And
some
he gonna
shit
tell it,
going
and
on.
he gonna tell his
Yeah,
girl what you
yeah.
just pulled.
That's right.
And you
Cause he
know
don't
what
want you hanging
though?
out. Cause he don't want you hanging out with her no more and putting
No.
that shit in
And
her head.
Yeah,
and you should be at this age. You should have enough people and friends in your life that you could get a ride home from work.
that's right.
And not only
That I
that,
just. I
not
just
only that,
don't. That ain't fly to me.
there's
That's
a
not
lot of
fly.
men that might be good in bed. Why
Yeah.
you got to be fantasizing about your man's best friend? If you want to
Mm-hmm.
live out a fantasy, you need to go down there to the strip club, call somebody on Tinder. I don't know, but he don't need to be nobody your man know. If you gonna cheat, cheat right. I'm just
That's right. I'm gonna
saying.
tell you the truth. That's why I always have. I know the ones that I got.
I'm so
You know,
disappointed. Like,
shit. Let me tell you something. That's why I have that. That little hammer, break glass in case of
Break glass in
emergency.
case of an emergency.
That's what he for. Only for that. That's not somebody I want to be in a relationship with. He's the break glass in case of emergency guy. Girl, I'm not saying cheat because I'm not about that. I'm not telling you to do that either. I'm just
I'm not
saying
telling
he
her
She
to
needs to.
cheat,
should
but I'm
date.
gonna say if you gonna
She
cheat,
should
Yeah,
date.
cheat
She
yeah.
right.
needs to get out of the
That's
relationship.
right.
Get
I was getting
out
ready to
of
get
the
out of the relationship
relationship and go
and
date.
date around. Date
There's a
around. And
big difference
yep,
between dating and
What we
being in a
what we
relationship.
talk about last week,
I know.
dating all these various
Yeah,
men
yeah,
to get what you want out of them
that's
and
right.
not settling down until you find that
Yeah, yeah,
Mr. Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
just date.
Date.
Get out of
Listen.
a relationship
Yep.
and then date. And when you find someone that tickles your fancy, then get into a relationship. But you
Shit.
need
Well,
to
hope and
find
get
that
in the
one that
relationship.
checks. Well, she needs somebody that checks all the boxes
You're not
because
gonna find that
obviously
somebody
she
there.
got a well, she got a wandering eye, so she better just call a
And,
thing.
but that's the person that just doesn't need to be in a relationship because she really
Right.
just is not ready for that, and she just needs to
Exactly.
admit to herself, "You're not ready for a relationship because
No, you're
you wouldn't
not.
have time to be thinking about and fantasizing about somebody when you're saying I got a good guy, but he's good where he's good. He's a good guy. I
Then you're
mean,
not happy.
then you're not happy, and that's what
You're
it
Right.
not
is.
happy. If
So
you
Yeah,
got to go that way, you're not happy, you're not satisfied, and you're not even married yet.
no.
yeah. So to answer her question, because I'm sorry, I'm sorry, niece, we ain't even answer your question. You see how we do? Y'all know how we do. I don't know
What
why
was
y'all
the
be sending
It's a
us
question?
these
hell no.
letters and
What was
expecting
the
It's
us
a
to
hell
do
question?
no.
right. The question
There's no
was,
question.
should she go on this fantasy tour or whatever? Hell
Hell
no.
no. I
No,
mean, because it's a
no,
one-sided tour. It's a one-sided tour.
no.
He's not going with you,
Even
baby.
if it was two-sided, hell no.
Hell
That
no.
is
Yeah,
too
even
many
if it's
lives
two-sided. Yeah.
that you are
But
Uh-huh.
she
destroying
thinks it's
because of
two
this
sided.
fantasy.
She's so, well, I'm not going to call her name. She thinks it's two-sided because he said, "Oh, are you jealous?" Not realizing that lady
Yeah, read the
that
room.
was the safe
That's what
clause.
the
That
minute
was
he
the
said
safe
the
line.
man girl, the minute he didn't say, well, let's go and turn the car around and do you let's is he gonna
You
be at
should
your
have been
house?
shamed.
And
You
he
should have been
didn't say nothing.
shamed.
If he didn't say nothing like that, then it's no longer a fantasy.
You
Let
should
this
have been
go. Well, I'm gonna
shamed.
Yeah.
tell you the truth. It's a one-sided fantasy.
Yeah,
Well, of
yeah.
course, it's one sided. I mean, most fantasies are, right?
But she doesn't think
But,
so because she said, "Oh, he must been into me too."
right. Listen,
I
I
would just
can't.
say,
I can't.
I would just say, sex is not worth you losing a good guy over. But that's just my personal opinion.
Right. Because he
I've
could
dated
be
a lot. That's what I'll say to you.
right. Because it's
I've
just
dated.
sex. And,
Yep.
and, and let me just say this. Like you said, was boring sex to her might not be
Yeah.
boring sex to someone else. Just because your
That's it.
friend is saying he good in the bed and you hearing all
Yeah.
these noises and carrying on going on in the room next door, don't mean the
He
shit
might
is
be
good.
knocking her upside, and he might be knocking her upside the
Girl,
head.
he might be
Don't
snoring.
mean the shit is good. I'm just saying.
He might be snoring over there.
I'm gonna need to
you
see.
know,
I'm gonna need to see some video proof of what you can put down
girl,
before I risk it all.
girl, let me
I'm
tell you something.
sorry. I'm not going by
Listen.
some noises alone. Nah, I'm gonna
No.
need to see
Mm-mm.
some video proof. Like
Uh-huh.
Weekday said, I'm gonna need to see that 7 minutes live and in action before I decide if I'm gonna risk it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just
Mm-mm. And guess what? If what's good for her girlfriend might not be good for you.
There you go.
You
there.
might
You
still
go.
find them to be boring. So, whatever.
Yep.
She gonna need her
All right,
ass whooped.
ladies. Listen. So if y'all have a our disclaimer, we love y'all nieces and nephews, and we encourage y'all to write in because we love this. Like, we love being able to provide our nieces and nephews with some sound advice from these aunties. Listen, we love it. But if you're gonna write in, just know that we're gonna give you our raw, unfiltered opinion, but it's always coming from a place of love. So if you need
I
some
demand.
advice, if you need some advice, you got a question for us, please send us an email to 3auntiesandamic at gmail.com or hit us up on our social media platforms. Three Aunties and a Mic. The three is spelled out THREE. Thank you all for tuning in. For all of our newbies, don't be a stranger. Make sure you like us and follow us on your favorite streaming platform. Follow us on our YouTube. And for those that are our loyal listeners, thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Bookworm, weekday, always a pleasure. I love you ladies for life. Until next time, peace and love.
Love you, nieces and nephews.
Smooches.